Florida Memorial University, our historically black university here in South Florida. She taught my son. Thank you so much for getting that boy through that program. I owe you. But please, round of applause for Dr. Nicole Yarling.
And yes, my shoes are a part of today's report.
Okay, so give it up again for Dr. And don't mind me, I am busying myself. I'm going to move this off the stage. We want to welcome you guys this afternoon. Thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting live music. And I think you're really going to enjoy this program. But just before I say that, I have to thank some people. The Broward County Cultural Division, Funding Arts Broward, and the Florida Department of State for the generous and continued support for this and other programming. I would also like to thank ARLIC for the use of this beautiful facility. How many of you, this is like your first time here? Will it be your last? No. Hope not. This kind of support is the greatest endorsement for all artists in Broward County, and it really is. So I wanted to mention something because I didn't realize until I walked in. Besides Dr. Hobbs, this young man sitting back here, Tyler Jordan, who you'll hear from in a little while, was one of my students at Florida Memorial. The young man doing sound for us, Kurt, was a student at Florida Memorial. And Cesar, you weren't necessarily my student, but these are all people that are part of the family. And everybody here is part of my family. I love them all. We did the show last year, and a few little changes, but I think you'll enjoy it. I think the important thing before we start the process is I didn't necessarily, as a violinist, I didn't necessarily feel like fiddle fit my lifestyle. I didn't think that people that looked like me played fiddle. And through a series of events, and some of it you'll see here today, I realized that we did. We were a big part of Americana. And so that's the point of this whole project, to make us more inclusive, right? We're more alike than we are different. We really are. So, without further delay. All right, so the reason for the shoes, let me tell you, I'm going to be running back and forth. A lot of what you're going to see is directly connected to this iMovie. So, you have a mic? So we're going to start. Come on out. And let me just see where I am. Why does it look like? Oh, and I'm not a PC person. I'm a Mac person. So I'm going to stop it, and I'm going to start it up. You ready? Ladies and gentlemen, the matter of Black lives. I think.
Let it breathe. It'll be okay. Just let it breathe. But it's not okay. This can't be. It can't be. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Let it breathe. It'll be okay. Just gotta breathe. But it's not okay. Just let it be. This can't be. I can't breathe. Living problematic. Getting lost in radio static. The haves and have-nots, and balance ratio average. Whether mask off or mask on like a mascot, it's empty bellies, the Spanish eating your cake and your cabbage. Environment psychotic, ain't no picking colleges, only picking some pockets, cause it's only licking yours. You hitting licks like a popsicle, proper fickle unless you dribbling objects. Like the basketball, it's like a racket, y'all. Neanderthal, this is extinction level after all. Stacking till my cash is tall. And it was everything around me in the fields where you found me. Told the master call. On the block with some Legos, you was a master builder. The last to join the clan, but you grew to a master tell the master ace, feel the beat sing, Cassius Clay, soul float like the butterfly that grew from the caterpillar.
Bagamoyo means throw down the heart. Huaga means throw. Heart, moyo is heart. Because this is where the slaves from the mainland would come for transportation, mostly to the Middle East. So these people will come from mainland, they've never seen the sea, they've never seen a ship. And then they knew from the stories, of course, that once you go there, once you see this sea, then there's no way you're ever going to return home. So when they came here, it was like, throw down your car. You'll never go again.
I met a man who could not see. He shared his heart in songs to me. The sweetest sound I've ever heard. I lingered on his every word. The biggest ocean, the biggest sea. Throw down your heart, leave it for me. I know not when we'll meet again. Throw down your heart, throw down your heart, throw down your heart, throw down your heart.
Rwanda, Tanzania, Burundi, and the Kionga Triangle into German East Africa. The alien invasion of Arabs and Germans with UFO landings. Greeting them in peace left ancestral land in pieces. But it was just business, policies and protocols of the times. No place for joy. The sight of the sea gave ancestors cause for defeat, to throw down their hearts. For they knew they would never see home again. So the whispers across the land warned them. The emergence of the Atlantic's majesty was once a cycle to fish and frog, was now a one-way portal to alien lands, of never before seen frigid airs and peoples, devoid of rhythm and conscience, liabilities in the desperate pursuit to end the overcrowded devastation of famine and plague, to spark a renaissance on their homeworld, at the expense of New World nations and civilization's center, and her people's hearts. It's well past time for us to reclaim their hearts and our origin stories, and exorcise false truths of who we are and what was done. Descendants of ancestral hopes, pick up their hearts with your righteous rage, faith-filled works, undeterred determination, and divine soul.
Not a PC person. I don't want to, I'm sorry. Sorry for the little. Here. Oh, no, I went too far. Sorry about that. No, I'm here right as that. Well, we'll get the end of that again.
And divine soul.
I'm going to stay here and freeze it. No! We're going to play St. Thomas. Play without me.
The slave trade is said to have drawn between 10 and 20 million Africans from their homeland, with approximately 600,000 coming to Jamaica between 1533 and 1807. For nearly a decade, in the late 18th century, Haiti accounted for more than 1/3 of the entire Atlantic slave trade. With the movement of people came the movement of musical culture. The rituals, rhythms, musical elements, and instruments accompanied those without freedom.
Troubadour is a Haitian musical genre that started in the early 1900s. That word is the same as troubadour in Spanish and English. A troubadour was a medieval poet who would travel and sing songs about courtly love. As they traveled, they would meet new people and go to new places and got inspired, and they would write lyrics that fit the moment. That tradition spread throughout Europe and eventually made its way to the Caribbean through immigrant workers and through Caribbean workers who would work abroad. Troubadour is usually played by a band and consists of guitars, singers, percussion. We use the tambour beside the djembe. We use cowbells, wood for the rhythm, and the glage, which is a scraper. And let's not forget the rumba box, we need that for the bass. And sometimes we use accordion and flutes. The songs are usually sang in Creole, French, and Spanish. And the lyrics are often about love, beauty, storytelling, a lot about Haiti, and life struggle. Troubadour is very similar to Jamaican mento music and the clubbing from Virgin Islands. It's also a mix of Cuban, Guajiro, and merengue. Troubadour is not as popular as it used to be, but it's still played in hotels, restaurants, touristic venues, it's played a lot around carnival time, and at cultural events.
We're going to stay this time. Okay, I got it.
those without freedom became a large part of the American landscape. The cultural inclusion through their many contributions was accepted but seldom acknowledged. They were an important part of building the country and an important part of new styles of music that were created on American soil. African people are some of the most resourceful people in the world. Taken from their homeland, they learned to adopt and adapt to their new environment. Families were displaced, physical items removed, but no one can remove knowledge, history, or ability. Those without freedom learned how to adapt their skill set as storytellers, as artisans, and as craftsmen to their new environment. In music, they transferred what they knew from the large array of stringed instruments in Africa to the violin and banjo.
This is a musical instrument that enslaved Africans built and played in the Caribbean islands, where the vast majority were taken during the 15th and 16th centuries. With a body made from a gourd, an animal skin head, and gut strings, it is similar to many West African instruments. But with a flat fingerboard and tuning pegs, it was something new. In different parts of the Caribbean and colonial America, it went by different names: Banza, Banjar, Bandora, to name a few. Today, we call it a banjo. The early gourd banjo played a crucial role in religious and ceremonial dances for Africans and African Americans in the New World. String bands play music primarily to accompany dancing. A single violin or fiddle provided the music for most European-based dances in colonial America and the early United States. When people started playing the banjo together with the fiddle in the first half of the 19th century, they blended African banjo rhythms and harmonies with European fiddle music, and this formed the heart of the string band. The fiddle and banjo combination spread partly through blackface minstrel performances, and it took root in the Appalachian Mountains, where the instruments accompanied square dancing and step dancing. Other instruments joined the mix, sometimes guitar, bass fiddle, mandolin, piano, or harmonica. The 1920s and 30s were the heyday for string band recordings, though record companies generally only captured white string bands, targeting African American musicians for blues, jazz, and gospel records. Today, string band traditions are alive and well all over the United States at informal community gatherings and national festivals, which bring together thousands of musicians playing old and new string band music.
is Phil Jameson. I live here in Asheville, North Carolina, in the western part of the state, in the Appalachian Mountains. The music that I play is called old-time music, and it's primarily dance music played on fiddle and banjo. Many people often mistake this music as being some kind of Anglo-Saxon or Celtic heritage, but in fact it is an American music that has African influence in it as well. The two instruments, the fiddle does have roots in Northern Europe and came with the Scots-Irish settlers to the mountains, but the banjo has African roots, and it was here in this country that the two merged together to create this new kind of American folk music. Something that a lot of people don't realize is that back in the 17 and 1800s, there were black fiddlers throughout the country, and these are people who routinely provided the dance music of America. So there's a lot of black influence in this music as well, in the fiddle music as well as the banjo music. The dancing that I do is called flatfoot dancing, and it, like the music, has roots in both Northern Europe and Africa, and it is a combination of the two, and this kind of music and dance is truly an American melting pot tradition. This tune is called Cotton Eye Joe, and I play a North Carolina version. Many people know the Texas dance hall version. This one's a little bit different. And this is another tune that is thought to have come from the African American tradition.
Can be traced back to one man, William Henry Lane, also known as Master Juba. Born to freed African slaves, Lane lived in the Five Points neighborhood in New York, where he would dance in the saloons and dance halls for food and coins. Even Mark Twain saw Lane dance in 1841 in the Five Points, calling him the greatest dancer known. Lane would later be one of the first black performers to perform for white audiences as part of minstrel shows. As part of his signature style, he combined the Irish step dancing that he saw in the saloon halls with African shuffle, walk around, and juba. Many scholars and dancers credit Lane as the father of tap dance.
Hello, my name is Rosie Weiss. I am originally from Billings, Montana, and I'm currently a student at the Frost School of Music doing my master's degree. I'm almost finished. I'll be graduating in the spring. So my background, I started when I was 3 years old. I was studying Suzuki, so I grew up right away starting with classical. But on the side, I also started Celtic music. Had a group when I was about 4 that I joined. So I was kind of learning classical and the Celtic stuff at the same time as I was growing up. Later on, I entered the Montana State Fiddle Champion contest, and I won 2 times. And that was like Texas style, so a completely different style of music. And then eventually, I did the fiddle stuff on the side still, but classical ended up taking over as I started playing with symphonies. I did all my lessons were classical, so fiddle was really on the side, and it kind of got left behind, unfortunately. So I'm really grateful that now I'm getting the chance to kind of go back to my roots, and working with Nicole Yarling has just been amazing. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about the different styles of dances when it comes to Celtic music. So Celtic music just means both Scottish and Irish kind of combined. So there's a lot of different dances. So the reels that I'll be playing, they're reels, so they're in 4/4 time, and they're always fast and peppy and fun. So it's fun to dance to. There's jigs, which are 6/8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's slip jigs, which are basically the same thing except in 3, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there's all these dances, the slower ones like the straw spades. But it really, people ask what's the difference. It really comes down to the feeling, the tempo, the timing, and the dance. So this project has been so amazing just to work on with Nicole Yarling. For me, being exposed to all of these incredible black fiddlers that I didn't even know existed, I'm kind of shameful. But when I think about jazz fiddle, I think of Stephen Grappelli or nowadays like Jason Annick. But so I had no idea, like Eddie South, Steph Smith, they're just incredible musicians. And so I've had a really fun time transcribing and getting into the nitty gritty of their style and trying to imitate them as best as I can. That's what I'll say.
next group of songs will celebrate African American improvising string players. The violin has always been an improvising instrument. The instrument fell out of favor as a principal instrument when it could not compete with the volume of brass and woodwind instruments in big bands. Yet, there were many important figures that continued to swing. Many of the players doubled. Players such as trumpeter Ray Nance, who played with Duke Ellington, and alto saxophonist Ray Perry, who played with Lionel Hampton, had seats in big bands as section players and soloists. But their first instrument was the violin, and they would often have features on both instruments. The next section will feature 3 important improvisers. Hezekiah Leroy Gordon Stuff Smith said he wanted to swing on violin the way Louis Armstrong swung on trumpet. The song you'll hear today, It's Wonderful, was co-written by Smith in 1937. Not to be confused with the Gershwin song by the same name, the song was often performed by Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald throughout their careers. Here's It's Wonderful, played today by violinist Frank Busta. Known as the Dark Angel of the violin, he aspired to be a classical violinist at a time when this was really not permissible. Here to perform Rose Room is Rosie Weiss. Woo-woo!
Hi, I'm Noah Mackover. I'm a first-year master's student here at the University of Miami in the Studio Jazz writing program, and also I'm Nicole Yarling's TA, helping out here with the alternative strings ensemble. I think there's a real importance to doing this kind of transcription work and kind of learning about the history and documenting all these various violin players, because I think it's a different way to showcase the instrument and learn about different styles and inflections and ways to play the instrument that aren't, straight out of the classical repertoire. So I'll be playing a transcription of Joe Kennedy and Ahmad Jamal's Tempo for Two, which I think is a great example of more traditional bebop and swing type language on the instrument.
Make sure it's working before you start. Occupational hazard.
Hi, my name is Regina Carter and I'm a violinist. I'm here at University of Miami for Austin Music School. When I walked in today to University of Miami to the big band, the first thing I looked around, I was like, there are no young women in the band. And I think I'm always looking for that, just to see how many women are still a minority in this music in jazz. And I think it's difficult for young women in the music because they don't have enough role models, although there are several of us out here playing, but we're so spread out that they don't feel like they have that support. And there are some of us that are just trying to come together and say we may not be in your city, but you can reach out to us if you need to talk about anything, how to handle issues. But some of the things I think that young women come up against or deal with, we talk about it in groups with just young women, but we need to also include young men in those conversations so they understand how maybe some of the things that they do or say make other people uncomfortable. And not that we have to bend over backwards for anyone, but there's just, when you come together to play music, everyone there should just be respectful of each other, be musicians and be a support group.
So I'm going to play Thank You. No blues for you.
Yes.
Let's see what it's on. Woo! Working. All right, so 1, 2, 1, living in Emma's spot. My bad. I don't even dress like that.
I was excited to get a clip the other day from my dear friend, violinist Nicole Yarling, professor here, so students that had transcribed an arrangement. I recorded a tune by a couple, Amadou and Miriam, called Artistia. And when I saw the clip, I said, who wrote this out? And she said, the student did, this young student, and they learned it, and it was so amazing that I had to send it to the rest of my band so they could check out the tune. And it's just fun when you hear something that you've recorded, you hear someone else take that and record it, especially youngsters. But it was just really beautiful, and it just made my heart smile to see that.
not Trent's getting set up. I wanted to say something. This is important to me, anyway. If you look at the mix of the people on the stage, there's a lot of white people up here. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Someone said something to me, kind of jokingly, said, but they're all white. And I said, you're making my point. All of the people that I'm showing you today, all of the string players are African American. Right? So to me, it's kind of sad that most people don't know about them. And people are teaching strings and they're teaching improvisation in schools. They talk about Stephen Kelly. They talk about John Hunting. They talk about, but they don't talk about this. That's the reason. And my whole goal is to go to classroom teachers and say, include brown people, not only brown people, but Asian people, Latino people. There's lots of people doing this, right? And have always done this. In fact, someone told me about that, that's the compliment, that he's from somewhere in Latin America. He said he met Stephen Kelly. And Stephen Kelly wasn't a violinist, his first was piano. He was inspired by Eddie South, the dark angel of the violin, to pick up a violin and start playing. I'm making a point. This is a conversation we need to have. Right? Thank you. That I wish you more young people here, young string players that see what's possible. All right, I'll show you. But I'm going to grab you. I might keep this myself. All right. everybody in one place. It's like herding kittens. So, the iMovie is my secret weapon, putting everything together. But, despite that, they're all such amazing musicians. We still have a couple more for you. These don't go away. And tell your friends. Tell them what they missed. All right. So, yes. Did I say something? No, that was good. We just listened to John Wayne. I'm here.
We lost the next performer much too soon. Noel Pointer was a violinist, vocalist, composer, arranger, and producer. You will hear a medley of two songs, Night Song and Fantasia. Night Song will feature Miss Rosie White, and Fantasia will feature several members of the AMOBL String Ensemble.
I named it.
bass, as well as being a poet and a rapper. Enjoy. Here's
So I'll tell you what I was going to say. A bunch of years ago, I was working on my solar pool. And a young man came in where I was working. I had no idea who it was.
Use the mic.
In my hand?
Yes.
The young man came in.
and he started talking to me. And very long story short, he wound up at Florida Memorial. And he became like the other half of my brain. And amazing, he plays violin, saxophone, bass, he raps, he's a poet, and he does some other things. So I'll tell you a little quick story. So we did something at the main library in Miami, and my pop ensemble. And there he met a young woman. Yeah. How many years ago did you meet this young woman?
I met 16 years ago. I got married 15 years ago.
So it's my fault. And they're amazing people. So he asked me to do this. I'm not going to rap. That would be scary. I did once. And people ran out of the room. No. It wasn't quite that bad. But all right. So I actually, he sent me this song that said write some lyrics to it, and I did, and I forgot that I wrote lyrics to it. So when he asked me to do this, I was like, did I write something? So he sent me what I wrote. So without further ado, guys, come on.
Thank you guys for coming out. We're glad this is our second time. Hopefully there will be another one.
Yes. I'm trying to do this every year.
To your friends, to your family, I am eternally grateful for this. God actually is a part of our family. Down there, I have family up here. I have family everywhere. So let's sing on. The song is called Make a Change. We are a duo called Broken Systems. If you are on social media, you can find us on social media at Broken Systems Music, anywhere. But this is Make a Change, and this is actually a song that my brother-in-law gave us to write to, and I wrote out for them. So we just rehearsed this literally maybe 2 hours ago, maybe an hour and a half ago. So this is super fresh. So enjoy. Make sure everybody start on bar 2. All right, at least for these guys. I'm not sure the rhythm chart, but for strings we start on bar 2. Shortcut is there. Walk straight, but it's easy to wear. Time to make a change.
Everybody, I want a Beatle battle here. Some of these folks don't even know, they're not old enough to remember the Beatles. We want to thank you once again for being here. We want you to spread the word. If you haven't seen a display, my exhibit of all the instruments, please stop on the way out and check it out. And are you coming up, my dear?